Bonjour, guten Morgen, buongiorno, buenos dias, god morgen, and good morning in all the hundreds of ways I can be saying it to you today. We are so delighted to be back for Series 2, Autumn Edition of the Zendesk Morning Show. When we left you in May, we had a spring in our step as we accepted the next normal in front of us and embraced it with open arms. I hope you were able to achieve what you wanted to over the last 6 months, whether that was to launch a new project, deliver an amazing experience for a client or a customer, hang with family and friends, or simply enjoying some R&R time. Most importantly, I hope you were able to bring the best version of yourself during this time. For me personally, my highlight was that I finally took the plunge and bought a Peloton Bike Plus. If this year of lockdown is going to be remembered, it's going to be remembered for bringing the best version of myself into my training, into my work, and connections. For us at Zendesk, we launched some great initiatives. Thank you machines is one of my favorites. We launched some new products. We had new customers join our Zendesk family, and we undertook 2 research studies to help you, our community, prepare for the next normal. Today, we are going to hear about some of that research, and we are going to have a guest from Enterprise Strategy Group joining us to talk about customer-centric leadership as the next new growth factor. But before we go into that, let's hear about change. As one of my favorite people, who also happens to be my manager, says, everything has changed, yet nothing has changed. Please welcome to the Zendesk Morning Show to kick us off for Series 2, Zendesk CMO Jeff Titterton, bringing insights and trends from the Zendesk Benchmark Report.
Thanks, Perlini. Happy to be here for the launch of Season 2. Wow, 2020, a year of constant change. As CMO at Zendesk, I can certainly relate. I've had to lead my team through continuous evolution and several pivots as we've worked through how best to meet our customers' needs and expectations throughout this challenging year. As CMO, I also have the opportunity to understand what companies across industries and geographies are doing. That's because Zendesk has a benchmark that tens of thousands of our 160,000 customers opt into to anonymously share information, data about their CX practices so that we can bring them to you. And in studying those benchmark reports, what we found is that everything has changed in the CX industry. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But at the same time, nothing has changed. Let me explain. So everything has changed. When we look at this benchmark of more than 23,000 of our customers, what we see is that there's been large increases in ticket volume across industries. This is constant. It spiked up the most, obviously, as the pandemic hit. But that's continued, and we don't see any trends of it slowing down. We've seen big shifts in where customers are communicating with brands, a lot more online, obviously, but very specifically, we're seeing large increases in social media utilization like WhatsApp. Customers want to communicate with brands on the social channels they're already talking with their friends and family on. Other real-time channels like chat, phone, etc. have also increased. We've seen big increases in self-serve utilization. That means customers wanting to access self-serve content online, and increases in AI, chatbots, and other technologies that, again, let customers get answers to their questions quickly and efficiently without having to talk to a human. So underlying all this is a big shift towards real-time, increased expectations. The leaders, the ones who are meeting those increased customer expectations without increased wait times and without decreases in CSAT, are the ones that are investing in flexible technology that is enabling them to go quickly towards real time, to get answers more quickly to their customers, and to empower their agents to do all of that. So, a lot of shift there. Customers need you to be listening to them now more than ever, and your employees need you to be enabling their success now more than ever. So, that kind of means nothing has changed, right? Because sure, that has been a big shift, but what that shift really is an acceleration of trends that were already happening. We already had moves towards real time, already had moves towards social, already had moves towards AI, self-serve, etc. But they've been dramatically accelerated in this pandemic, and we don't see any signs of them slowing down. To meet those expectations, brands need to focus on 4 things. 1, establishing trust. Trust is at the center of a customer relationship. 2, you have to increase your speed and agility. You have to be faster. Customer expectations are going up and to the right. You need to be running alongside them. 3, time to value is your key differentiator as a brand. Every second that your customer isn't getting an answer from you is a second that they're spending thinking about switching to another brand. 4th, good technology is flexible. You need to have this technology able to move quickly as customer demands shift to empower your agents, help them help your customers. So, center of all this, it is all about the customer, and it's all about empowering those champions of CX, those agents behind the scenes who do all of this to help those customers be successful. My teams have just launched a new research report with ESG, well-respected research company, studying these trends and studying the champions of customer service. We're delighted to have partnered with them, and you will be hearing more about that throughout this show. Back to you, Perlini.
Thanks, Jeff. Great to have you back on the show. Jeff touched upon our new research in partnership with Enterprise Strategy Group that dives into how companies are investing in customer experience and are reaping the benefits. We're going to learn about the core attributes of a CX champion, the difference between starters, risers, and champions, and why omnichannel continues to be important. Joining us today is Adam Demetia, Director of Customer Research from ESG, and Erica Felches, Group Manager of Public Relations and Communications for EMEA at Zendesk. Welcome, Adam and Erica.
Thanks, Perlini. I'm joined today by Adam Demetia. He's a Director of Customer Research at Enterprise Strategy Group, which is an IT analyst, research, validation, and strategy firm that provides market intelligence and actionable insight to the global technology community. ESG has also partnered with Zendesk on a recent piece of research. So, Adam, can you maybe give us a high level of what is this report all about?
Sure. This research is all about defining CX maturity and categorizing organizations into levels of maturity, right? From starters to risers to champions. And ultimately, we do that by assessing how many CX best practices are in place at these organizations. The way we look at it is there are 7 core attributes of a CX champion. And starters have between 0 and 3 of these best practices in place. Risers have 4 or 5, and champions have 6 or more. And these best practices are all about your people, right? How trained up are they? How overworked are they? Or are you staffed up sufficiently? Your technology, right? Do you give your service and support agents the tools they need to do their jobs well? And then lastly, and kind of most nuanced, your data, right? So are you capturing all the KPIs and metrics you need to service your customers best? How real time is that data? And then once you have it, what do you do with it? Do you put it into action? Do you evolve business processes based on what your customers are telling you? And so ultimately what we look at is how many of these best practices are in place. And what we saw is that CX champion category with 6 or more best practices in place, it's a pretty exclusive group, particularly in Europe. Which shows that there's a lot of room for improvement in the market in terms of how we service our customers.
It's really interesting because when you look at that scale, actually today's episode is all about that evolving customer journey. And you probably saw some differences in how, champions versus starters and risers were approaching omnichannel. Did you see any particular differences in that?
Oh, absolutely. There are some really vast differences between these categories of organization and how they're implementing omnichannel, or if they're implementing omnichannel. So first and foremost, what we saw is champions are engaging their customers across far more channels, 2 more on average. And specifically, the areas they are working with their customers that starters and risers are not are areas like online chat, messaging apps, social channels. So what we're seeing is champions are more omni-channel than these other cohorts. And secondly, they're putting their staff to work across all those channels, right? So their agents are more apt to be servicing customers in an omni-channel fashion. It's not pockets of agents for phone and chat and pockets for social. Everyone's doing everything. And then the last piece is a really high commitment to bringing all that data and all that information from your customers together in one place. So omni-channel visibility. Champions are doing a really good job at that, whereas other organizations have kind of a lot of fractures and silos in their data.
And the other thing I found interesting about the research is that you saw a difference, not just in the traditional customer service metrics between champions and starters, but also in the business results that they were achieving. Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this was probably the part of the research that really jumped out the most to me is the actual downstream business impact of doing CX well. We ask organizations, hey, what are your customer spend trends? How's your market share performance been over the last 6 months? And then looking forward, how confident are you in your customer retention goals for the next 12 to 24 months? And what we saw was champions are growing their customer base. They're growing wallet share in that customer base. And as they look forward over the next 12 to 24 months, a time with a lot of uncertainty, they have a lot more confidence that they're going to keep their customers and reduce churn.
Great. Thank you so much for this, Adam. And just one more question to ask you. If you are somebody who sees your organization as a starter or a riser, what advice would you give those organizations so that they can move further up that curve?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll stick to omni-channel here because I think there are some really prescriptive next steps. I think if you're a starter or a riser, you really have to focus on knowing your customer because we know that there are channels that you're not engaging your customers on that your customers want to see you. So you have to know where are those places that you need to go to find your customers and work with them. Secondly, as you grow your channel participation, you need to give your teams the ability to do that efficiently, right? So one of the things we saw as champions have seamlessly given their people the ability to toggle between channels, right? Maybe you're chatting with a customer and you realize, I'm going to get to a solve faster on phone. How do I do that pivot? Champions have that capability. Less mature organizations don't necessarily. And then lastly, you need to automate intelligently. As you grow that channel portfolio, you're getting more customer information from more places, and you don't want to create silos. So how do you bring all that information together at scale? Well, you have to do it with intelligent automation.
That's brilliant. Lots of really tangible steps that organizations can take there. So thank you so much for joining me today, Adam, and I'll pass it back over to you, Perlini.
Thank you, Erica and Adam. We are now going to pivot and travel across to Germany to hear from the head of customer care of Staffbase on how to make your employees your biggest asset and learning how they scaled during COVID. Staffbase has been a customer for the last 5 years and has grown 8-fold during this time. Welcome to the show, Felix Daza and Laura Reiser, Group Manager of Central Marketing at Zendesk. It's wonderful to have you both here.
Vielen Dank, Perlini. Hallo, ich bin Laura Reiser, Group Manager Central Marketing bei Zendesk. Für Arbeitgeber wie Arbeitnehmer stellt die derzeitige Situation enorme Herausforderungen dar. Mitarbeitergespräche, Townhall-Meetings, selbst der einfache Kaffeeklatsch, der früher in der Büroküche stattgefunden hat, ist jetzt erstmal digital. Um eine solche zu erleichtern oder gar es zu ermöglichen, gibt es Unternehmen wie Staffbase. Staffbase wurde 2014 gegründet und hat seinen Hauptsitz im sächsischen Chemnitz. Staffbase beruht auf einer einfachen Idee: interne Kommunikation und Services sicher und einfach über gebrandete Apps und per Desktop für alle Mitarbeiter verfügbar zu machen. Zu seinen Kunden zählen heute bekannte Marken wie BMW, DHL und Vodafone. Und auch Staffbase ist von den Auswirkungen der weltweiten Gesundheitskrise nicht verschont geblieben. Wir haben heute Felix Starzer bei uns, der mehr dazu erzählen wird. Hallo Felix, schön, dass du da bist. Erzählst du uns mal kurz was über dich?
Hallo Laura, sehr gern. Ich bin Felix, Head of Customer Care bei Staffbase, mittlerweile seit 3 Jahren. Angefangen hat das Ganze, als mein CEO mich angeguckt hat. Felix, du bist jetzt Zendesk-Admin, mach mal nichts kaputt. Mittlerweile sind wir 24 Personen im Support-Team, über 4 Locations verteilt und das Ganze auch noch über 3 Subteams. Also ich würde sagen, bisher ist noch nichts kaputt gegangen.
Das ist ganz klasse, ne? Witzige Geschichte auch. Magst du uns ein bisschen darüber erzählen, wie sich die Covid-19-Krise auf euch als Unternehmen ausgewirkt hat und natürlich auch auf euer Geschäft?
Natürlich. Einerseits durch mehr Anfragen und andererseits auch durch neue und spannende Projekte.
Gab es da spezielle Projekte, die ihr gemacht habt während der Zeit?
Ja, wir haben eine neue Mitarbeiter-App oder ein neues Produkt gelauncht, was speziell darauf ausgelegt war, sehr schnell an die Kunden zu kommen, innerhalb von 3 Tagen. Und das war sozusagen unsere Lückenfüller für die Corona-Krise, dass wir super schnell mit unseren Neukunden interagieren konnten und diese dann mit den Mitarbeitern.
Ja, das ist ja ganz klasse, ne? Irgendwie in der Zeit dann auch noch ein Produkt zu launchen. Gab es da irgendwie so einen bestimmten Moment, wo ihr gesagt habt, so, die bisherigen Prozesse, die können wir jetzt nicht mehr so beibehalten und wir brauchen jetzt Anpassungen?
Teils. Also wir hatten Prozesse schon mit Zendesk integriert, die locker hätten noch weiterlaufen können, aber durch das neue Produkt mussten natürlich dann manpower-technisch und auch mit Integration neue Prozesse geschaffen werden.
Das kann ich mir vorstellen. Welche Rolle haben denn die Zendesk-Produkte dabei gespielt, beziehungsweise welche verwendet ihr denn überhaupt?
Ganz klassisch Support, also Ticketing über E-Mail, über Webformular, eine Telefonintegration haben wir im Einsatz, dann Guide benutzt unser Product Documentations Team und ich benutze sehr, sehr gern Explore noch, einfach für die Statistiken.
Ganz klasse. Und wie haben die euch dann zum Beispiel bei dem Produktlaunch geholfen von Stuff-Based Now?
Unbedingt angestiegenen Tickets klarzukommen. Also wir hatten plus 50% Tickets von Anfang März an. Und dadurch, dass wir schon viele Integrationen einfach im Einsatz hatten, Salesforce, Confluence, konnten wir die neuen Informationen einfach drauflegen und unsere Mitarbeiter oder die Agents konnten sich halt wirklich primär um den Kunden kümmern und mussten nicht an Prozesse denken.
Das erleichtert das Ganze natürlich enorm. Vielleicht zum Abschluss noch eine Frage, Felix. Wie meinst du denn, werden die zukünftigen Monate bei euch aussehen bei Staffbase? Bist du da besorgt? Bist du eher zuversichtlich?
Zuversichtlich, ganz klar, weil durch die neu gewonnenen Kunden kommen natürlich auch neue Herausforderungen. Und so bauen wir zum Beispiel jetzt gerade einen 24/7-Support auf, der unser ganzes Support-Team hoffentlich auf eine neue Ebene dann auch hebt.
Das klingt auf jeden Fall spannend. Vielen Dank, Felix, für die ganzen interessanten Einblicke. Es ist echt klasse zu sehen, wie ihr als Unternehmen in der Lage wart, den Fokus auf den Kunden zu bewahren und dann auch noch solche Sachen zu machen, wie ein Produkt zu launchen. Ich wünsche euch weiterhin auch alles Gute. Schön, dass du da warst.
Vielen Dank für die Einladung.
Danke. Und damit gehe ich zurück an Prelini.
Thanks, Felix and Laura. I did love the story when Felix's CEO told him when there were only 30 people, hey, you are now the Zendesk admin. Have fun. I'm sure you definitely had fun, as we are a super fun bunch after all. Our last segment for today is on the importance of investing in CX to improve your bottom line. And we are going to hear about some of the solutions that can help you based on the research we have heard today. Welcome to the show, Paxton Cooper, VP of Support Platform at Zendesk.
Hi, my name is Paxton Cooper, and I lead the product management team for Zendesk Support. My team and I spend a lot of time helping companies of various sizes across lots of different industries with either establishing, extending, or enhancing the experience they deliver to their customers. ESG research surveyed over 1,000 customer service leaders to gain insights about the attitudes, the behaviors, and outcomes along a customer experience maturity curve, from the most mature teams down to those that need some work. The findings are clear, though. Customer experience investment matters. An investment in improvements to your customer experience is an investment towards improving your bottom line if, this is a big if it's done the right way. It's really important to take a strategic approach when identifying opportunities for improvement. We recommend 3 key areas of focus: the customer experience, the agent's experience, and operational agility. I'll briefly discuss each and how Zendesk is a service-first CRM purposely built to prioritize these 3 categories of emphasis of customer experience champions. Customer experience champions consistently meet customer expectations. They understand the importance of the tools that are used within their operations. Zendesk is built to provide the help customers need through their preferred communication channel. Now, messaging, it's a relatively newer channel for customer service, but an absolutely essential one to support. It includes popular social messaging services that we all use every day, like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and even services like Apple Business Chat. Customers often prefer to communicate with you using the same social messaging services they use every day, and your business needs to be there waiting for them. In fact, across Zendesk enterprise customers, support tickets from messaging channels jumped 80% since February of this year. Help centers are another critical element to a great customer experience. Now, if you're like me, and I think most people are, we prefer to get the answer to our question on our own, as opposed to waiting to talk to a human and explain ourselves. A well-structured help center can help your customers find answers almost instantly. Companies are using artificial intelligence and bots more and more for customer service. Zendesk's Answer Bot can help deflect tickets from already overwhelmed agents. As the touch point to your customers, your agents are central to delivering a great customer experience. Customer experience champions know how to best set agents up for success. Zendesk enables your team to be successful with powerful, out-of-the-box tools that can be set up quickly, are intuitive, and just incredibly easy to use. The Zendesk Agent Workspace delivers incredible efficiency and an omni-channel experience that eliminates switching between different communication channels that can disrupt an agent's workflow. Zendesk collaboration tools allow agents to directly communicate with other internal and external parties for faster resolution, while also restricting their access in the conversation to only what's truly needed to resolve the customer's problem. Finally, customer experience champions invest in making operations powerful and agile. Nearly 50% of customer experience champions are viewing their metrics every day, whereas starters, they're infrequently looking at theirs. Admins that use Zendesk can easily manage all of their key daily metrics, including CSAT, SLA, and general agent efficiency. Zendesk Explorer has features that give you real-time visibility into data across your entire organization. Explore Enterprise enables businesses to understand changing customer needs and inform decisions across support, sales, your product teams, and other organizations within your company. We obviously haven't covered all Zendesk solutions, so check out zendesk.com for more of our capabilities. And maybe most importantly, don't let all of this overwhelm you. You can start slowly and gradually incorporate changes and experience improvements over time. Even a simple analytics addition can turn into a major cost savings. At a time like this, when customer demands are changing fast, it's more important than ever to continue investing in customer support. Invest now to avoid falling behind. And remember, it's a journey and you're going to continue to build and iterate. You don't have to solve it all in one day to make a positive impact for your business.
We're nearing the end of the first episode of Series 2. Thank you to all our speakers today. Want to take our quiz to learn if you're a starter, riser, or champion? You can learn more about the themes shared today. We will have a sneak peek of the EMEA data available in 2 weeks' time in partnership with ESG, and a full detailed breakdown will be available towards the end of the series. So something to look forward to. Until then, join us next week as we prepare for peak retail season. We'll be joined by Fortnum and Masons. My family absolutely love their biscuits. I treat them whenever I go home to Oz. We have Made.com that has completely changed the online retail homewares and furniture model, and fashion retailer About You. So lots of great learnings coming your way next week. Keep safe, stay healthy, and bring the best of yourself to each and every day. Be like a CX champion in and out of work. Take care.